Evergreen mango tree, one of the most grown food crop in Uganda. From the ability to grow in a wide range of soils to relatively humid environments to moderate rains makes the mango tree an easy crop to cultivate, especially in the tropics where these conditions prevail. The crop is commonly found in many homesteads as a food source, but rarely considered as a good source of revenue, especially when cultivated at a large scale. If a simple tree could potentially produce 1,000 fruits per season, each sold at 300 shillings, imagine how much an acre of 70 trees could earn. What about the advantage of being a perennial crop, meaning you can continue earning from it for up to 300 years if properly maintained? Coming up on Seeds of Gold.
If we are looking for money, we may not be interested in beauty of the tree or beauty of the fruit on how it looks. But if we are to go for money, then you will see the one that bears a lot of fruits.
Hannington Kerere Modern, a resident of Kashari, Mbara district, is a fruit farmer who has found a way to turn a perennial homegrown fruit crop into a lucrative business. Starting as far back as 2013, Hannington today makes about 40 million shillings per harvest from producing highly fleshy mangoes weighing up to about 1 kilogram each. Owing to the fact that the variety he grows is an improved deep red blush succulent fruit with limited fiber, provides a comparative advantage in the market for juice processors. But to get to this level of quality, a number of management practices are required, right from the choice of tree, daily routine works, and protection of your investment.
I started on something like 5 acres, but I've kept on expanding. Now we are at about 30 acres. I mean, there are so many species. So if you come, you may look at different species, then you choose according to taste, or you choose according to size, or you choose according to beauty it needs. I mean, it all depends on what you need. But if you are for, let's say, if we are looking for money, we may not be interested in beauty of the tree or beauty of the fruit on how it looks. Because others are red in color, others are yellow, others are green. But if we are to go for money, then you will see the one that bears a lot of fruits. Now the species that goes for money is called bile. It puts on very many fruits. It can go, a mature tree can put on up to 1,000. On one we had around 550 fruits, but they are still young. You see, they are less than 10 years. But when they go to 15 years plus, they will go even to 1,000 fruits.
Approximately 70 trees are grown in an acre of land with a spacing of about 3 meters apart. This is not only helpful in reducing competition for nutrients, but also creates passage space for weeding.
Managing this crop, you must maintain, let's call it sanitation. The sanitation must be good. There should be no weed. No, a tree is a tree, but you see, those grasses underneath are also looking for what to eat. They are competing, and we sometimes put in fertilizers, NPK down to, like now, after harvesting, the tree is exhausted. It has used a lot of nutrients. So there is a need for replenishing. And when you put fertilizers, then you allow these other unwanted crops to grow. They will compete with the tree and it won't give you good fruits. Because you will produce small fruits, and once you go to the market, you find those ones who have done it with big fruits. You want to bargain with them.
Pruning mango trees improves their overall health and harvest. So how do you prune a mango tree, and when is the best time to prune?
You see, the tree grows as an umbrella. Then you go into the middle of it. Then you break or you cut the other middle one, so that you can have sunshine penetrate direct in the tree through the top. So here we are just waiting to see how the flowers will look like. We have been cutting whatever comes in the middle, so that the light and sun can ably enter. If it is not well pruned, you can't stand and see across a tree. The canopy may not allow you. And once you see that you cannot see through, then that means there is a problem. You have to cut some branches, you have to remove some branches, some leaves, so that you can be able to see through.
Mangoes have many devastating pests and diseases which can result in total yield loss. Major pests include the fruit fly, seed weevil, among others. But these are not the only challenges you are bound to face. Huntington explains.
Fruits are so vulnerable to pests, they are vulnerable to vermins, they are vulnerable to even people who want to take things for free. Those children who want to eat, who don't know that you are looking for income in these things. But I think that one is also good, because it tells us that they are marketable, that they are on demand by vermins, on demand by people, on demand by thieves. So we have to protect. We have a fence around, and we have our scouts who monitor once in a while at night to move around, see what could be taking place. And we have some dogs around also, they help us. But also, the police nearby has been of use to us. Once we nab you, then we take you to the police. You stay there for a night, they question you. Then tomorrow when you come, you tell others that that is a no-go area. With mangoes, this is a water-stressed corridor of Ankole. We don't have enough rains. In fact, it is a cattle corridor. So mangoes, they like those conditions. They do well. Like now it is hot. When it is hot, it is when they are flowering. It is when they are okay. It is when the leaves are good and the diseases are minimized. I think some diseases, they increase with the rainfall. When the rains come, a lot of diseases come. Now the diseases are minimized with the sunshine. So the biggest challenge in as far as weather is concerned is that we are fearing a hailstorm. When hailstorm hits, whatever is there, the small fruits, the small flowers, the small leaves, they will all fall off. And that season, you can consider it a loss completely when hailstorm comes.
Coming up, how much can you reap from 30 acres of mango tree planting, and how much care will be needed to get to maturity? Agroforestry has been described as a win-win approach to management, as it offers the opportunity to grow food, produce fuel, while protecting the environment. This allows farmers to reduce business risks and effects of the climate change. This creates a unique growing factor for Hannington's investment in mango trees.
When you compare agro-farming to animal farming, the risks involved, to me, reduce. Because with cattle, you need to keep following where has it gone, where is it, has it gone to other people's gardens. The mango is almost static where it is. It remains. It will not go to disturb neighbors. In fact, it is maybe neighbors coming to disturb the what? The mangoes. And when you go to risks, when you come to steal the mango, you will steal a fruit. You are not going to steal the what? The entire tree. Whereas the cattle, they will steal the cattle with even its young ones and milk. But this one, you will steal a fruit and the tree will remain. Even if you wanted to marry me, coming to cut these trees that you are going to cut because you are marrying me, and you start at night, in the morning I will find you still cutting. But once one wants to marry you on animals, just a drop of what? Of chemical, and they die. So the risks here are reduced. So when you go to the management, also treating the tree of a mango is not equated to treating the cow which has gone sick. Because I do both. I have cows and I have these ones. I compare and see. And when these ones mature, I sell and get the money as it comes in full. But with the cows, you have to squeeze yourself, look at it. In fact, you are attached to it. Selling it becomes a problem. But here, when they mature, whether it is good or small or beautiful, once it is ripe, mature, I must sell. There's nothing like saying, this is beautiful, I have to remain with it. I sell and get money. So managing there becomes easy and selling becomes easy.
Agribusiness is associated with farm businesses in developing countries, particularly in the arid regions. However, there are also opportunities in fertile wet regions that may favor other crop productions better than agroforestry. In all cases, day-to-day management creates an edge in one's production. The following stages require intensive care at the stipulated times when managing a mango orchard.
Yes, during flowering, there are a lot of insects, the seen and the unseen, the ones you cannot even use your eyes to see. Once you leave them, then diseases will attack those small flowers and they will all maybe fall off. There are so many diseases there. Once the fruits are there and you can see, then there you can relax a bit and wait for them to grow. Once they reach the other stage, the sweetness starts coming in. Once that sweetness comes in, then it attracts these other insects to come and taste on that sugar, on those sugars. Then that's where I came. That's when I come in again and put in attention to spray against those insects and whatever. Now, like this one now has sprouted and you can see the flowers. Once you spray on this, and insects you can see the insect. It has already a house fly. They are already there. So they may have caused the damage already. But the right time would have been here before the flowers come out. So, but we still continue to spray because some of these factors are beyond our control. But I think this is the time we are expecting a lot of flowers. So we are spraying, preparing for the flowering time. So in a few weeks from now, the garden will be full of flowers. The biggest expense here is procurement of drugs, the herbicides.
Keeping your financial records organized makes it easier to locate, analyze and track cash flows and outflows. Bookkeeping is important in managing business performance, from procuring seedlings, fertilizers and labor versus how much returns at the end of the venture. This is what Hannington records in his books.
Where I spend on drugs, where I spend on workers, where I spend on transport, fuel for the machines that spray. Then I also have a book where I start selling how much I have got. Then after that, vis-a-vis what I spent, then I see what is my profit, what margin did I get.
Grafted mango trees take about 3 to 4 years to fruit. When ready, it's recommended to avoid picking fruits from the ground, as they are susceptible to pests and diseases, which reduce the quality of the yield. Hannington laments as he takes us through his harvest process.
We have our customers, and those customers have been telling maybe their other esteemed friends to come and buy from us. So they do come here and buy from us once the fruits are mature, and we also transport to the markets around us, maybe along the Mbarara-Ibanda highway. We sell those fruits there. Then the ones that are not sold, and they are not very good, we put them in drums and ferment them to get liquor, which liquor we distill to get waraji, Roko waraji from mangoes. Then we also pick some other good mangoes, which we put aside and prepare to ferment and make wine. We have the mango wine. We also do pineapple wine because we started with pineapples. Then now we are into mangoes. So the other ones, if we don't have the pineapples now, the pineapples have been reduced at our garden, but we buy the pineapples and still do the wine. The biggest harvest has been maybe of mangoes has been this year, this one, because we didn't lose a lot as far as diseases were concerned, because we did some good pruning. So our diseases, our disease control strategy this time worked, because we pruned a lot and we had time to spray. So we had a fair harvest, I would say, that we have around maybe 3,000 trees. At least each tree could have given us maybe 100. In order to have good fruits reach the market, we have baskets. We pick these mangoes and put in the basket. We don't allow throwing mangoes or beating it with a stick to put it down. No, we do climb slowly. We pick those ones which need to be picked while climbing. And in fact, most of them we don't climb. You just pick by touching and lowering it down, so that we handle them properly without damaging or bruising them. That is for, then we carry to the pickup. Then on our pickup, we have the Ntundubare, the tap line. Then we power there slowly. When it is full, then we take to the market.
Mangoes account for approximately 50% of all tropical fruits